guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm back here again with another sports card collecting and investing, and today I'm talking Eastern Conference Finals. Today is a great day for basketball. Game 7 with the Denver Nuggets and the Clippers tonight, as well as kicking off the Eastern Conference Finals, and that is between the Boston Celtics and the Miami Heat. So as you know, I am a Miami Heat fan. However, though, earlier in the year, I did say, I believe that Boston was going to the NBA Finals. So today, I'm going to be giving you my analysis of what I think and how I'm projecting the series to go, as well as card prices and how they may affect the market as far as the players that will be in demand during this series. So without further ado, if you are brand new to this channel, I do encourage you to hit that subscribe button, like this video, and comment and let me know what you think at the end. But let's go ahead and jump right into the video. What we're going to be talking about here as far as on a card perspective is for the Celtics, we got Jayson Brown, Kemba Walker, and Jayson Tatum. And then on the Heat side, the best investments obviously is Bam Adebayo, Jimmy Butler, and Tyler Herro. So I was doing a little bit of comparing and contrasting, and then I'll pretty much give you guys the scoop of what I think will happen as far as like the series, how many games it'll go. And this is just taking the bias out of me as well. Like I said, I am a Heat fan, but I am being very logical here. So I'm trying to be as straightforward and as real as possible, without, obviously using my heart. So what I wanted to go into first was Jaylen Brown base PSA 10 prices. His prices, a best offer actually ended yesterday at about $415. Before that, $295, $355, $450, $400. It's pretty much a $350 to $450 card. Now, Jaylen Brown has been very impressive this playoffs. He's averaging 21 points. He's averaging 8 rebounds and 2 assists, as well as he's shooting, He's shooting 43% and 30% from 3. He did struggle a little bit in the Raptors series as far as like not getting a shot consistently, but Jaylen Brown is an all-around player, and I do believe that he will pick it up in this series. It's going to be a tough matchup. The one thing I will say is that the Celtics have the edge on the wing, in the backcourt with Kemba, Jaylen, Marcus Smart. They're just so much more experienced as far as on the Miami side. The Miami side, they have shooters, but they do lack defending. In the last series against the Bucks, you could see clearly Chris Middleton was wanting switches with Goran Dragic, Tyler Herro, and Duncan Robinson. He was taking advantage of those matchups. So I do expect the same thing to probably happen with Jayson Tatum. He's probably going to want to go off the pick and roll and switch with Goran Dragic, Tyler Herro, and Duncan Robinson, because they're not great defenders. They're willing defenders, but they're not great one-on-one defenders. So, I do think that as far as attacking that matchup up top, Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown are going to do a great job of that. Somebody who I think has been underrated is Jayson Tatum in the card market. At the very beginning of the restart, he was hitting around $1,000 for his base PSA 10, and they've actually dipped. Jayson Tatum cards have been going fairly for the last couple of days around the $700 to $800 range. I actually don't have my Jayson Tatum PSA 10 anymore and my Optic Shock PSA 10. I ended up selling both of those for a good amount of profit, and I sold those during the Raptors series. I think that was like a great time to sell them. But I do think, if the Celtics end up advancing and making the finals and potentially winning the finals, this Jayson Tatum base PSA 10, it could definitely rise very quickly. I still think that's a very underrated price for how his production has been in these playoffs. He's playing like a superstar. He's averaging 25 points this year in the playoffs. He's pretty much took over the Boston Celtics. Whenever they signed Kemba Walker earlier in the offseason, a lot of questions were, Kemba Walker's taking over this team, pretty much replacing Kyrie. Jayson Tatum said, no, this is my team. Kemba Walker's still a great clutch first and second option whenever he needs to be, but Jayson Tatum is clearly the man in Boston. Another person is Kemba Walker. So we're going to go into his base PSA 10s. The last sold listing was actually yesterday or 2 days ago for $355. I'm looking at Card Ladder right now. And Kemba Walker has been, he was around, for example, late August, his base PSA 10s were about $500 to $600 range. And they clearly dipped. He was struggling in the Raptors series. They dipped to $400, and then there was an auction that ended at $285. So this card is still very attainable. Kemba Walker, I think it's not like he has the most to prove, but I think he has something to prove to himself. I'm very happy for Kemba. Living in North Carolina, I've seen Kemba Walker live for so many years here in Charlotte. whenever the Miami Heat come to play, or like, you know, a big team. I've seen Kemba Walker play for years. He's a great competitor. This man is just nothing but a pure bucket. And, you know, I'm very happy that he's in the conference finals. He's actually, you know, playing for potential championships. You know, I think he, with Charlotte, they just didn't, you know, put the pieces around him. And I think he has a lot of winning to go with Boston going forward. And I'm very happy for him. And I think that, you know, this card is very underrated as well. Kemba Walker, he's a great player. He's been a great player his whole career. And he's very underrated defensively, too. Obviously, he's not like a great defender, but I think he's very underrated defensively. So there's the whole point about the Boston Celtics as far as their card market. And we're going to go into the Bam Adebayo PSA 10s. His base PSA 10s have been easily from 400 to 500. So I still think it's very attainable as far as like this price. Now, I will say the biggest X factor, I think, in this series is the Kemba Walker series, or excuse me, is the Kemba Walker matchup up top, because he's going to have Goran Dragic, Tyler Herro, and Duncan Robinson, and Kendrick Nunn, and they are decent defenders. They are not solid defenders. Like I said, they're willing, but they're not, you know, we'll lock you up like a Marcus Smart, or, you know, we'll play great defense. So Kemba Walker has a chance to potentially in this series, I'm not even gonna lie, being a Heat fan, that's the one matchup we're terrified of is Kemba Walker. Not only did he have a bad series against Toronto, he has a lot to prove, I believe, just to himself, because he got that contract. And I think the matchup up top with everybody guarding him just favors Kemba's side much better than anybody else. So I think the X factor is Kemba Walker against the Miami Heat guards. And then the X factor on the Heat side is the Bam Adebayo against Daniel Tice and Robert Williams. Daniel Tice, great defender, solid defender, great competitor. You know, Bam Adebayo, though, this is the series for him to prove that, you know, hey, I'm a top 5 center. I believe he's a top 5 center. I think he's 4 or 5. I think he's like right there, you know, after Joel Embiid, Jokic, and Karl Anthony Towns. So I think this is the series really that, you know, if we want to start putting him up there, me as well, just thinking this, if I want to put him up there, this is the series where, you know, you gotta average like 19 and 12 this series, or 20 and 12. I expect a big series from him. He's the X factor on the Miami Heat side, I believe. But like I said, Kemba Walker, Bam Adebayo, I think these guys on the national stage, national TV, you know, I think the only person that can really defend Kemba Walker well is Derrick Jones Jr. and Jay Crowder, and that's only when they switch. Other than that, like I said, it's barbecue chicken up top for Kemba Walker. And then with the Bam Adebayo thing, you know, Robert Williams, a great, you know, a decent defender, but Daniel Tice is a solid competitor, big body down low. But I think this is a series for Bam to take over if he needs to be. The next person is Tyler Herro. He's been very fearless in these playoffs. I mean, just for example, guys, Tyler Herro is averaging 15 points on 40% from 3, as well as 41% from the, or 42% from the field. He's a great shooter. Like I said earlier in some of my videos, I haven't seen a rookie this confident as far as just coming off the bench. Obviously, you know, you got Trae Young, Luka in their rookie years, Jason Tatum his rookie year. You know, they play with great confidence. It's expected. But when you're caught upon the bench and you play with this much swagger and confidence, I just haven't seen it, honestly. I think Tyler Herro has a great future in the league, and he puts the ball on the floor. He can be a main ball handler for the Heat. And, you know, his card prices are very attainable. You can get PSA 9s less than $100, but his PSA 10 price, for example, it's going anywhere from $250 to $300. And, you know, I think this card has a lot of room to grow. And Tyler Herro, it's going to be tough for him in this series, so I think this is great for the card market to look at and be like, okay, this kid can ball. Because he's going to have Jayson Brown on switches. He's going to have Marcus Smart on switches, and Marcus Smart is an elite defender, first team all defense. Not only that, like I said, Kemba Walker, willing defender. They got Ojale and Wanamaker as well up top. So I think this is a big series for Tyler Herro and Kendrick Nunn, because Kendrick Nunn didn't have much playing time. He hasn't had much playing time because you could tell he's had a little funk, you know, coming back to the bubble. You know, he came back into the bubble later, so he's been in a little bit of a funk. And as you can see, Eric Spoelstra has benched him. So, you know, going with the hot hand and Goran Dragic, I don't blame you. You know, he's a vet. Goran Dragic reminds me of like the Lou Williams, just a professional score the ball, just professional scorer. And Goran Dragic has played well. Looking at his stats, he's averaging 21 points a game this year. And then the last person I'm going to be talking about is Jimmy Butler's base PSA 10. I think with Jimmy's cards during the Bucks series were crazy. They were about $1,200 for the PSA 10. I actually scooped up a raw base prism for $200. I actually didn't put it in my mail day Monday yesterday because I literally got it. I prepped it and got it ready for PSA immediately because it looks super flawless. So I just sent it off to PSA. And his card actually before this series, they were, for example, I don't know what's going on here, but 3 auctions ended around 600. I don't know if that's gonna stay like that, but for example, 2-3 days ago, 1,000 and up after that with Jimmy Butler's cards. I think this is a series where if Jimmy plays really well, because he plays really well, he played really well against the Bucks. The thing is, we rely on a lot more guys, and I think this series, for example, if Jimmy can play solid defense on Tatum and Brown, if he can score, 24 and let's say 24, 6 and 5 or something like that. I think this is a big series for the card market on Jimmy Butler as far as like quick flips. Jimmy Butler is a great player. He's a solid defender, and he's very competitive. I like it about him, and I think in this series, the Heat are playing with house money. Nobody expected the Miami Heat to be here. I was telling people all year, I was like, we're going to beat the Bucks in the second round. I think, we're probably going to play Boston. A lot of people really laughed. And I was actually being very serious. And just the team ball that we play and the adjustments that we made against Giannis, I knew that the wall was going to kind of happen. But I think here, all in all, this series is going to be a great series. Personally, my mind says Celtics in 6. I think the Celtics will win this series in 6 games. My heart does say Heat in 7, though. The way that it's leaning, for example, if we go to a game 7, I just think the Heat will win in 7 games. I trust right now. I trust Jimmy Butler a little more than the younger guys in a game 7. I trust him a little more than Jayson Tatum, Jaylen Brown, and Kemba Walker in a game 7. I think Jimmy, he heard a lot of that criticism that he came to Miami just lay back and collect all this money. And he's been playing really well, guys. A lot of people forget, in that Sixers and Raptors series last year, the Game 7, the miracle Kawhi shot, Jimmy Butler pretty much willed the Sixers to the end. And, who knows if that shot doesn't go in, maybe the Sixers are in the conference finals, or maybe they go to the finals. And maybe he never comes to Miami. I think that team last year with Joel, Ben Simmons, and Jimmy, I think it was a solid team. And unfortunately, Kawhi just dismantled it all, just like that. So, like I said, my mind says Celtics in 6. I think the Celtics have the better roster. They stack up better. I trust Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown. They're great players to come up. On the come up. And Jayson Tatum is already emerging as a superstar. Jaylen Brown is a star already. And, they got Kemba Walker. So, I'm saying Celtics in 6, guys. But like I said, if it goes to 7, I believe the Heat can probably take it in 7 because I just trust Jimmy Butler and Goran Dragic just a little more. Goran Dragic has tasted defeat in Game 7 before. Jimmy Butler has tasted defeat in Game 7 before. So that's where I'm kind of leaning towards. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Who do you have? Celtics, Heat? I definitely want to hear your thoughts, your theory on how this is going to play out. I think this Game 1 is very important for the Heat. I think the Heat need to start off with a big win to start the series, just so they can kind of get a feel for them, and the Celtics are like, all right, these guys aren't nothing to play with. Because I think the Celtics still kind of underestimate the Heat because they beat them twice this year. Now, one of the reasons I think that they had big success against us was we had that 2-man center lineup, and in these playoffs we haven't played Myers Leonard or the Bam and Kelly Olynyk trio or duo at all that much in the playoffs. Eric Spoelstra is a genius at making adjustments. Brad Stevens is a great coach. So, this is a great series. This is honestly, elite coach against elite coach. So I'm very excited for it. Just great basketball coming up. So like I said, sorry to keep going, but let me know in the comment section what you guys think, guys. Celtics, Heat, you know, who's going to be the X factor to you guys? Who do you guys think is going to go off? I mean, do you think 6 games, 7 games, 5 games? Let me know. That's pretty much going to wrap it off for today, guys. I hope you ended up enjoying this video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you guys on the next one. Take care.